When we think of history's greatest warriors, we imagine absolute monsters, tearing through battlefields with unmatched physical strength. We obsess over their armor, but completely ignore their vital fuel. How did the Spartans forge their endurance, or the Vikings build massive frames? What did Roman legionaries eat to march across continents? And how did Mongol horsemen conquer the world? Today, we are putting these legendary warrior diets head-to-head, breaking down their bizarre recipes, and ranking them to find the ultimate battlefield fuel. Smash that subscribe button, hit the like icon, and let's unlock the ultimate ancient warrior tier list, fueling the ultimate war machines. Before we drop these warriors into our nutritional ranking system, we need to completely bust a massive Hollywood myth. Pop culture wants you to believe that ancient conquerors survived entirely on massive racks of roasted meat, overflowing gold goblets of wine, and endless luxury feasts. In reality, battlefield nutrition was a brutal, calculated science of survival, efficiency, and logistics. A warrior's diet had to pack massive caloric density, prevent scurvy, keep muscles firing under extreme stress, and be incredibly easy to transport over thousands of miles. The civilizations that cracked this nutritional code ended up building unstoppable empires, while those who relied on complex luxury faded into historical irrelevance. Let's see how our four legendary factions stack up as we examine what actually entered their stomachs. Spartan black broth torture. We start our journey in ancient Greece with the most notorious stomach-churning military recipe ever devised: Spartan black broth, or melas zomos. This infamous soup was the absolute backbone of the Spartan military pipeline, served daily in the mandatory communal mess halls. The recipe was aggressively simple and deliberately disgusting. Tough pieces of wild pork boiled down with animal blood, salt, and a heavy splash of vinegar to keep the blood from clotting. It looked like thick slop, smelled completely rancid, and tasted so legendary awful that rival Greeks famously joked that they finally understood why Spartans were so completely fearless in the face of death, since dying on a battlefield was infinitely preferable to eating another bowl of their terrifying soup. The nutritional truth of Laconia. Despite its absolutely horrific taste, from a purely scientific standpoint, Spartan black broth was an absolute masterpiece of early sports nutrition. The pork fat provided a massive wallop of dense calories, while the boiled blood delivered an incredible, bioavailable dose of iron and essential protein to rebuild shredded muscle tissue. The vinegar didn't just act as a preservative, it actively aided digestion and helped the warriors absorb nutrients rapidly. Spartans paired this gruesome broth with barley cakes, wild figs, goat cheese, and heavily diluted wine. This hyper-lean, high-protein, and low-sugar diet ensured that Spartan hoplites maintained incredibly lean, shredded physiques with zero excess fat. It gets an absolute failing grade for flavor, but a solid A-tier ranking for producing pure, functional battlefield endurance. Roman legionaries powered by plants. Next up, we march with the Roman legions, who conquered the entire Mediterranean world on a diet that would shock modern bodybuilders. Roman soldiers were essentially walking carb loaders. Their primary daily ration was not meat, but grain, specifically wheat or barley, known as fermentum. Each legionary carried a personal hand mill to grind their daily ration into a thick porridge or bake it into hard, dense flatbreads called bucellatum. Meat was actually viewed with deep suspicion by Roman military doctors, who believed a heavy meat diet made soldiers sluggish, prone to disease, and hot-headed. Instead, the Roman war machine ran on complex carbohydrates, supplemented with wild greens, garlic, beans, and olive oil, proving that you can absolutely build a world-conquering empire on a clean, plant-powered fuel system. The tactical edge of Roman vinegar. The secret weapon of the Roman military diet wasn't their food, but their legendary tactical drink, pasca. This wasn't fine Italian wine. It was a sour, acidic beverage made by mixing cheap, soured wine or vinegar with fresh water and aromatic herbs. While it sounds unappealing, pasca was a stroke of genius for empire building. The heavy acidity of the vinegar instantly killed off deadly bacteria and parasites lurking in unfamiliar wilderness water sources, preventing devastating outbreaks of dysentery that could instantly cripple an entire invading army. Furthermore, The vitamin C in the sour wine kept scurvy completely at bay during long, multi-month campaigns. Packed with clean carbs and a sterile hydration system, the Roman diet ranks exceptionally high for imperial longevity and supreme structural health. Viking feasts of meat and mead. Sailing into the freezing north, the Vikings completely reject the plant-based philosophy of the Romans, fully embracing a high-protein, high-fat carnivore dream. Living in a brutal, freezing climate required immense caloric insulation, and Norse warriors got it through an abundance of meat. They consumed massive amounts of boiled pork, beef, and wild game like elk and bear. Their cooking methods were simple but highly effective, centering around a perpetual stew pot called a skudda that simmered over the longhouse fire 24 hours a day, with fresh ingredients constantly thrown in. This massive protein intake built the tall, heavy, and imposing bone structures that struck absolute psychological terror into the hearts of their European enemies, making them look like literal giants on the battlefield. The frozen secrets of Nordic survival. But the Viking diet wasn't just about roasting fresh meat over open longhouse fires. It was a masterful lesson in long-term food preservation. To survive the brutal, dark Scandinavian winters and long ocean voyages, they relied heavily on hakarl, fermented shark, alongside salted herring, dried cod, and sky-high amounts of fermented dairy like skyr. They washed this dense fuel down with ale and mead, an alcoholic drink brewed from fermented honey that provided massive caloric bursts. While their diet gave them incredible raw explosive power and physical size, the extreme reliance on heavily salted, smoked, and preserved foods caused severe joint inflammation and long-term digestive issues over time. The Viking fuel system ranks high for sheer physical bulk, but drops due to poor longevity. Mongol horsemen and liquid fuel. Finally, we sweep across the steep Asian steppes to examine the most radical, minimalistic, and terrifyingly efficient diet in military history, the Mongol horde. Genghis Khan's warriors completely eliminated the need for slow, vulnerable supply wagons by turning their own war horses into a walking, living grocery store. A Mongol warrior on the march survived almost entirely on the dairy and meat provided by their herd. Their most famous daily staple was arag, a highly sour, bubbly drink made from fermented mare's milk. Arag was absolutely packed with vital vitamins, healthy fats, and a mild alcoholic kick that kept the warriors warm, energized, and completely immune to nutritional deficiencies across months of relentless, high-speed riding through the frozen, barren steppes. The hyper-portable nomad fuel. When the situation turned desperate on long cavalry rides, Mongol horsemen utilized a terrifyingly efficient survival trick that completely redefines the term fast food. They would make a tiny nick in the neck of their warhorse and drink a few ounces of its nutrient-dense blood directly from the source before patching the wound up, sustaining themselves without ever slowing down their advance. For solid food, they carried borts, a hyperdense, sun-dried horse or yak meat that was ground into a fine powder. A single handful of borts mixed with hot water instantly created a highly nutritious, filling soup. The Mongol diet gets a perfect score for portability and logistical genius, allowing an army to move faster than any empire in history. The ultimate warrior diet champion crowned. Now that the plates are clean, it's time to officially crown our champion of ancient military nutrition. In last place, we have the Spartans. Their broth was an incredible muscle builder, but the severe lack of culinary variety and horrific taste make it unsustainable. In third place are the Vikings, boasting massive raw power and size, but suffering from excessive sodium and joint issues. In second place, the Romans take the silver medal for their brilliant, plant-powered endurance and sterile hydration systems. But the undisputed gold medal goes to the Mongol horde. Their hyper-portable, liquid-fueled diet eliminated supply lines, kept them perfectly healthy, and allowed them to conquer the largest contiguous empire in human history using nothing but horse milk and sheer nomad grit. It is absolutely mind-blowing to realize that history's ultimate conquerors didn't need fancy supplements or massive kitchens to build world-ending physical power. They mastered their environments, engineered survival recipes, and turned their daily food into a tactical weapon. Modern fitness can learn a lot from these ancient blueprints of functional strength. If this epic animated countdown of warrior diets hooked you until the very end, Make sure to hit that subscribe button, slam the like icon, and drop a comment below sharing which ancient warrior diet you would survive on. Thanks for watching, and stay hungry for history.